Let's begin writing equations to Microsoft Excel by opening up our file. So I'm going to go to the File tab, select Open. I made a folder in the C drive called Microsoft Practice, Excel Practice, and here inside of writing equations in Microsoft Excel is my file that I want to use. It's called Writing Equations in Microsoft Excel Activity 1. And the first equation I'm going to create is with an independent variable x and a dependent variable y, which is equal to 5 times the dependent variable x. I'm going to have x vary from 1 to 10 by 1s. I'm going to create a pattern of two numbers. 1 and 2 is enough for Excel to create a pattern. I'm going to grab this little black box in the lower right hand corner until my cursor, which is a big plus sign, turns into a little black plus sign, and I'm going to drag that down until I get to the number 10, which is as far as I want my independent variable to go. And then I'm going to come over here to my B column, and I'm going to write an equation that relates the B column, my dependent variable, to my A column, my independent variable. And I'm going to make an equation by typing up in the equation editor. First I'm going to type an equal sign, which means I'm writing an equation, and I'm going to type 5 times, and then I'm going to left click or select the cell that I want to multiply by 5, which in this case is A2, and I'm going to press the enter key, and you'll notice that I get a number of 5. Now what I can do is I can once again put my cursor on the lower right hand corner of my cell with the formula until my cursor turns into a small black plus sign, and I can drag that formula down, and notice every current cell in my B column, my y dependent variable, is exactly 5 times the value of the independent variable x right next to it. And if I click on cell B8, notice now it says 5 times A8, which is the 8th row in the A column. So even though my original formula was 5 times A2, when I drag the formula down, it automatically updates the row value, which is what I want in this case. If I were to happen to change this 5 to a 50, it would automatically change my dependent variable y in the corresponding cell next to it. So this is exactly what I want. I'm going to put it back to 5, and now I'm going to format this table by, I want to put a big thick border around the whole table, so I'm going to highlight the whole table. In the Home tab, I'm going to go to my Borders icon. I'm going to go to the very bottom and choose More Borders. Under the Border tab, I'm going to choose the thickest line, and I'm going to draw a box around there. And this will put a box around the entire table. Then I'm going to choose a thin line, and I'll just do this a little easier. I'll just hit this inside hash mark, which will fill in along every cell a thin line on the inside. And that looks pretty good as a table. I'm going to put a kind of a thick line, a medium thickness line, under the column headers, just to separate those out a little bit. And it's a good idea to indicate what your independent variable is by coloring it. So I'm going to choose a yellow color. I typically use yellow for my independent variables. And there is our first table of a table of equations. Next, I'm going to do something similar.